Your retail therapy is actually a feedback loop that keeps you in the job you hate. It's Friday night. Dave had a brutal week at the office. His boss yelled at him twice. He sat through 4 pointless meetings. He answered emails at 11 p.m. So what does Dave do? He orders $80 of sushi and buys a $150 gadget on Amazon. Because he earned it, right? Is Dave rewarding himself? Or is he paying a misery tax just to survive the weekend? Here's what nobody tells you. The average American spends over $6,000 a year on what they call treating themselves. But it's not a treat. It's a coping mechanism. And it's expensive. Dave doesn't realize he's trapped in a cycle. Work stress creates emotional pain. Emotional pain triggers spending. Spending creates financial stress. Financial stress forces him to stay at the job that's making him miserable in the first place. It's a hamster wheel powered by dopamine hits. And the worst part? The entire system is designed to keep Dave running. Let me show you how deep this goes. Dave makes $60,000 a year. After taxes, that's about $4,500 a month. Rent takes $2,000. Car payment, insurance, utilities, groceries. By the time Friday rolls around, Dave has maybe $800 left for the month, and he's exhausted. So he opens his phone. Instagram shows him an ad for noise-canceling headphones. You deserve peace and quiet. DoorDash sends a notification. Treat yourself. Free delivery on orders over $25. Amazon recommends a new coffee maker. Because mornings shouldn't suck. These aren't random. They're targeted. The algorithm knows Dave had a bad week. It tracks his screen time. It knows he's scrolling at midnight. It knows he's vulnerable, and it strikes. Dave clicks. $80 on sushi. $60 on headphones he doesn't need. $40 on a self-care candle that smells like overpriced wax. By Sunday night, he spent $300. And he feels nothing. Because here's the truth. Retail therapy doesn't fix stress. It's a short-term numbing agent. The dopamine hit lasts about 15 minutes. Then reality kicks in. The sushi is gone. The gadget sits in a drawer, and Dave still hates his job. But here's where it gets worse. Dave's coworker Sarah is in the same trap. She spends $120 a month on subscription boxes. Self-care Sundays, she calls it. Another coworker, Mike, drops $200 a month on craft beer and takeout. I work hard, I deserve to enjoy life. Everyone at Dave's office is doing it. And nobody talks about the cost. Because admitting you're financially stressed feels like admitting you're failing. So they all keep spending, they all keep suffering, and they all stay stuck. Now let me show you the math nobody wants to calculate. Dave spends about $500 a month on I deserve this purchases. Sushi, gadgets, impulse buys, stuff he forgets about in a week. That's $6,000 a year, over 10 years. That's $60,000. And that's just the surface cost. Because Dave isn't just losing the money he spends. He's losing the money that money could have made. If Dave invested that $500 a month instead of spending it at a 7% return, he'd have $87,000 in 10 years. In 20 years, $260,000. In 30 years, $600,000. Dave is literally choosing sushi over early retirement. But wait, it gets darker. The stress spending isn't just costing Dave his future. It's trapping him in his present. Because the more Dave spends to cope with his job, the more he needs that job to pay his bills. He can't quit. He can't take a pay cut for a less stressful role. He can't take 6 months off to figure out what he actually wants. Because he's living paycheck to paycheck funding a lifestyle designed to make his paycheck to paycheck life barely tolerable. It's a perfect trap, and most people never realize they're in it. Now here's the part that should make you angry. This isn't an accident, it's a business model. Companies spend billions of dollars studying consumer psychology. They know exactly when you're vulnerable. They know that stress increases impulsive behavior. They know that people who feel powerless at work seek control through purchasing. They know that late-night scrolling is prime hunting time. So they build systems to exploit it. Dynamic pricing that raises costs when you're desperate. Push notifications timed to your emotional low points. Influencers who make overconsumption look like self-love. One-click buying so you don't have time to think. The goal isn't to sell you a product. It's to sell you a feeling. And that feeling costs $500 a month. Dave's spending isn't a personal failing. It's a response to a rigged game. But that doesn't mean he's powerless. Let me tell you what Dave did when he finally saw the pattern. First, he tracked every single treat-yourself purchase for 1 month. Not to judge himself, just to see the number. When he added it up, he nearly threw up $560 on stuff he barely remembered buying. Second, he deleted the apps. Not forever, just for 30 days. No DoorDash, no Amazon app, no Instagram. If he wanted to buy something, he had to open a browser and type the URL. That tiny bit of friction cut his impulse purchases by 70%. Third, he built a stress fund. Every Friday, he moved $50 into a separate account. It was his I survived the week money. But the rule was simple. He couldn't touch it for 30 days. If he still wanted that gadget in a month, fine. But 90% of the time, he forgot what he even wanted. Fourth, and this is the big one, he started asking a different question. Instead of "Do I deserve this?" he asked, "Does this move me closer to the life I actually want?" Because here's the thing, Dave doesn't actually want sushi. He wants to feel valued. He doesn't want gadgets. He wants control. He doesn't want retail therapy. He wants a life that doesn't require therapy. And the fastest way to get that life is to stop funding the one that's killing him. Within 6 months, Dave had saved $3,000. Not by becoming a minimalist, not by eating ramen, just by stopping the bleeding. He still grabbed dinner out sometimes, he still bought things he wanted, but he stopped using spending as a painkiller. And something interesting happened. The less he spent to cope with work stress, the less he tolerated work stress. He started setting boundaries. He stopped answering emails at midnight. He pushed back on unreasonable deadlines. And when his boss didn't like it, Dave wasn't scared. Because he had 3 months of expenses saved. He had options. That's the real cost of the "I deserve this" tax. It's not just the money, it's the freedom you're giving up. Every dollar you spend numbing the pain is a dollar that could have bought you the power to fix what's causing the pain. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you rewarding yourself? Or are you paying rent on a prison cell? Dave didn't know. Now you do. The question is, what are you going to do about it?